Good afternoon, Kirsten. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thank you so much for agreeing to sit in on this interview. I've gotten to know you just a little bit chit-chatting before they started the recording. So you grew up in the Austin area.
Yes.
And right after you graduated, you came to Tulsa.
Yes.
And it sounds like you're enjoying your time in Tulsa so far.
Yes, I am pretty much enjoying it.
Okay. Well, I'm real curious to learn a little bit more about your education and training, your experience here at Tulsa Tech. Since you didn't grow up in this part of the country, what brought you to Tulsa Tech? How did you hear about it?
Well, I work for American Airlines.
Oh, okay.
And so a lot of my coworkers started going here. And, you know, I already have a degree.
Oh, really?
And so I really
Interesting.
wasn't at first interested in going back to school.
Right.
But I've always liked working with my hands. And ever since I started at American Airlines, I
Right.
would be out in the hangars watching the mechanics
Right.
and everything they do, and was
Right.
really interested. And I figure, you know, if I like taking things apart and putting them back together,
Right.
so might as well go to work and do what I love.
Doing something you
Yeah.
enjoy,
Something
you
that's
have
fun.
a passion about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that about you, that you already had your college degree. That's an interesting fact that one of our fastest growing student populations are adult students with degrees, either associates or bachelors, and sometimes higher than that. And I think a lot of it, I was reading an article actually this morning about the enrollment growth over the last 3 years in vocational technical training type schools compared to universities, where their enrollment's kind of declining and enrollment in technical training institution is significantly increasing. I wonder why that is. I think I know. I think it's because industry is looking for people that can do things that's going to help their business grow. It's not so much about a degree. It's, you know, what are you good at? What can you do? How can you help us? And I think that's one of the things that Tulsa Tech does well. So your experience here, if you could, just tell me what it's been so far, what programs, what courses you've taken.
I finished Generals 1 and Generals 2 for AMT.
Okay.
Right now we're in Airframe 1.
Nice.
And so far I've been having fun.
Good. That's good to hear. Our instructors, I think they're special compared to maybe a lot of professors and faculty members and teachers, because they come out of industry, you know, and they've actually done the work that they're teaching our students, the hands-on part. Can you tell me a little bit about your instructors and how they compare to maybe others you've had at different places?
Well, I feel like instructors at colleges are just basically teaching you book stuff. You know, they've learned it from a book, so now they're just telling you what they've learned from a book.
Right.
And you're learning from a book.
Right.
But here, these teachers work in the industry,
Right.
whether they're working on these small planes or
Right.
if they've worked at American Airlines before.
Right.
So they've actually done the work.
Yes.
So they can tell you, oh, this went wrong, or
Right.
this went right. You
Yeah.
can't do this way, you know, because they've had the experience.
Right, not just from the book.
Yeah, not from the book.
Right. You know, learning from material like books is important, but when you can kind of have the combination of that and the real world experience, I think it makes the learning a lot more relevant.
Yeah.
And it's in an area that the student has interest, like you mentioned.
Right. You're more
mentioned
interested in
earlier.
it when you're using your hand. I feel like I'm more interested in it when
Right.
I'm using my hands,
Right.
as opposed to just reading
Right.
it on a page.
That's what we do very well. So what's your career goal once you finish your aviation program?
Well, I do want to transfer over to be a mechanic
Okay.
at American.
Awesome.
That is the goal, but you never know. I might get
Right.
an opportunity somewhere else.
Right.
I have 3 adult children, so I really don't have to, you know, stay where I'm at.
Right. Right.
You know, they're off living their lives,
Right.
you know, doing what they
Doing
want to
their
do.
thing.
So now it's my turn. Basically, my
Right.
kids told me it's your turn.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful that they see that.
Yeah.
You mentioned American Airlines a couple times, and we do a lot of training for them. We do some customized business and industry training, and of course we supply them with a lot of our students after they go through the program. So they've been a very good partner to Tulsa Tech over the years. So we have those connections with business and industry, and that's the other thing that we really focus on, helping our students get employed after the training.
Yeah.
Placement is what we call that, and that's a really big deal. We actually have a career fair here tomorrow with, I think, 30 to 50 employers setting up for our IT programs and others here at Riverside. So we'll be happy to help you find a job when you're ready.
Well, I've noticed that a lot of the mechanics there are excited for us going to school. They give us a lot of encouragement, because I've built relationships with a lot of the mechanics because I was always in the planes watching and asking questions, and they're, you need to go to school. I don't want to, but then I finally did it. And they ask me like every day. There's one mechanic, he asks me every day, how's it going? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to come ask. Like, they're very encouraging at my job.
That is great to hear. Well, out of all of your courses that you've had, you mentioned some of those earlier. Was there a favorite one?
So far, I think my favorite is what we're in now, airframe, because we're making things with sheet metal.
Right.
And I'm a creative person. I'm very artistic at home in my personal life. So I'm making things and I'm cutting out things and I'm seeing things form, and I'm like, wow, that could be part of an airplane. And learning how to use tools that I see in my job that I never knew what they were, and now I'm learning how to use them.
That there is a creative part to what we teach. Even in welding, if you think about it, when they're taking pieces of metal and creating something that might be used in the workforce, but it's still creating. If you and I'll end with this question, unless you've got some for me. If you were recommending Tulsa Tech to one of your friends, maybe aviation or another program, what would you tell them about Tulsa Tech?
Well, I will tell them that it's serious. You can't just come here and slack off. You're going to really learn hands-on stuff for your career. Right. And you got to be dedicated. Like, you have to stay focused. You have to, you do have to study because there are tests, and at the end, you have to be certified. Right. So you can't just come in here and think you're going to slack off and memorize. You got to be focused. You got to really want to do this to succeed, I feel like.
That's great advice. There's a lot of safety aspects.
That too.
Especially in aviation. I've actually leave for a work trip Friday, and it's on an American Airlines plane. So, I worry about that. I hope whoever maintained this or put it together knew what they were doing.
That was another reason why I did it, because I personally, I do not like to fly.
I don't either.
But if I'm going to fly, I'm only going to fly American because I have a rapport with the mechanics. Right. And I trust them.
They're doing quality work.
Right. But the safety part, you're right about that. We do learn a lot about safety, and you don't understand what happens behind the scenes. Right. And I feel like, okay, I'm going to be a part of something great when I get done.
That's a great way to end it. Want to be part of something great. Well, we appreciate you being a Tulsa Tech student.
Thank you.
We're here to help you, not just through the program, but when you get out, you'll be an alum. We've got great hire Tulsa Tech grads.com services, placement services. So you'll be part of our Tulsa Tech family forever. So anything we can do to help you, you just let us know.
I appreciate it.
Okay. Kirsten, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.